Welcome to this edition of Action Video Game Talk. I'm your host, Scott Action Jackson, and we do have a lot of news articles to go through, so let's get right to it. Mario, Luigi, Link, and the gang already hold down Nintendo's video games, but now the company plans to put them to work with a host of new licensing deals. Nintendo head said in a recent call to investors, "We are not at a stage where we can share the specifics with you today, but we are seeing possibilities in licensing character IP in areas Nintendo has never worked before. I expect to be able to discuss some details before the end of this calendar year. These licensing deals will likely include Nintendo characters' likenesses on merchandise and other consumer products." I hope this doesn't mean we will see like Mario and Link on a cheeseburger wrapper or maybe like on a soda. The way that they got it and pronounced it, or pronounced/typing, it seems like that might happen. Or if anything, they could have like Legend of Zelda cereal or maybe Mushroom Kingdom oatmeal or something like that. Nintendo's new Pokemon-themed painting title for the 3DS, previously only confirmed for Japan, will be released in at least one Western territory. According to a report in Eurogamer, Pokemon Art Academy will be released on July 4th in the UK. It was previously confirmed for release in Japan in June. Although there is no US release date at present time, this does mean that an English translation is being worked on, a good sign for US Pokemaniacs. The game is pretty much what you expect, a classic paint title with a Pokemon theme. As far as this Pokemon Art Academy, I don't know if the original Art Academy game was very popular, but I'm guessing throwing Pokemon into it and, maybe color here, color there, maybe a little bit of drawing, it'll probably pick up with the Pokemon fans. Philips has filed suit against Nintendo claiming patent infringement. Specifically, the complaint focuses on motion-controlled consoles, including the Wii U and its accessories, and technology that models a user's body in a virtual environment by animating a virtual body to follow the physical movements of the user. The suit was filed on May 14th in Delaware and claims infringement of Philips' virtual body control device and user interface system based on pointing device patents. Philips also claims Nintendo is aware of its patents via correspondence dated December 2011. Philips seeks damages for the infringement and enhancement valued at 3 times that, as well as interest. The company also seeks an injunction against further importation and sales of the Wii U and infringing products. Now, why did Philips take this long to actually file a suit against Nintendo for this? The suit was filed on May 14th, but Nintendo was aware about Philips claiming stuff since December 2011? What is with these video game companies getting sued by other companies? I mean, I think Microsoft got sued by, Verizon or US Cellular or some other phone company because of how the system itself looked. It looked like something they had planned or something. I don't know what the frick this is about, so... Sony has changed its mind about tying the $50 upgrade access to PlayStation Plus membership. Game Director shared the update via Twitter. "If you have Drive Club PlayStation Plus Edition and upgrade, we'll ensure you keep full game access even if your PlayStation Plus runs out." Well, I'm glad that they decided to change their mind about this. I mean, originally, if you have the PlayStation Plus membership and got the Drive Club PlayStation Edition and upgraded, and your membership expired, so would the game. But this guarantees you to still have a copy of the Drive Club now. Because if they kept it the other way, a lot of people would be pissed. Need more shoot-em-ups? Well, you're in luck. In just a few weeks, Toza Games R-Type Dimensions releases on PlayStation 3. On May 20th, you can get your hands on R-Type Dimensions, which remasters R-Type and R-Type 2. The remastered games include not only HD graphics, but also new music and features. Players will also have the option to switch between enhanced 2D and 3D graphics, or play the game in their classic form. In addition to extra modes like infinite ammo and level select, local co-op is also included. Now, I think R-Type 1 and 2, were they on the Super NES? Or maybe NES? Maybe they were just an arcade game. But I know that there was a Super NES version of R-Type. Might have been like Super R-Type as far as I know. But it is nice that they're kind of like redoing the R-Type games for the current generation system, the PS3 right here. Knowing them, they could probably throw it on the PlayStation Plus membership and give it for free. But we'll see. Randy Pitchfork, president of Gearbox Software, has stated via Twitter that he's been informed the PS3 Vita cross-save function of Borderlands 2 will be available this coming Tuesday, May 20th. Now, on the previous episode, kind of reported about this, the cross-saving feature that was supposed to be on the Vita version of the Borderlands 2 to bring over your stuff and save from PS3 to Vita with Borderlands 2 game, isn't quite working. And then I think, if I remember right, I did say that they were probably going to be working on it, and this proves it right here. So it's going to be fixed, Tuesday, May the 20th? It'll probably be like a download patch or something. If you're a subscriber to the PlayStation Plus service and still have your PS3 hooked up, Skullgirls Encore from Reverge Labs will be available free this week. It will be the only free game, but the service is also offering lots of discounts on items in free-to-play titles like Blacklight Retribution, DC Universe Online, DUS 514, and Warframe. In addition, you might want to grab Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons for the PlayStation 3 and Unit 13 for the Vita if you're interested, as they'll be rotating off the Instant Game Collection this week. Now, I've downloaded this Skullgirls Encore. It is a fun little fighting game, so if you're into the old school fighting games, you know, the standard 2D like Street Fighter type, you might want to get this if you also have the PlayStation Plus membership. And then these additional discounts are a nice little treat, especially for people who still have and play DC Universe Online and Blacklight Retribution. A number of PlayStation 3 titles have appeared on the PlayStation 4 store. These titles can be found by going to Day One Digital in the store and then filtering for PlayStation 3 games. The 3 titles, Dead Island Riptide, Ben 10 Omniverse, and MX vs. ATV Alive, all appear as free. However, they can't be downloaded and only give overview and recommendation options on the product page. Now, I'm guessing these game listings are probably something to help Sony figure out for the PlayStation Now service that they're going to have, their streaming gaming service. Dead Island Riptide, Ben 10 Omniverse for some odd reason. That is the odd one out in this trio. Yeah, I'd say Dead Island Riptide and MX vs. ATV Alive seem like the ones that most people are looking at more than the Ben 10 game. Among the Sleep, a game where players explore a darkened home as a 2-year-old, is coming to Sony's next-gen system. Developer Krillbyte still doesn't have a release date, but on a recent post on the PlayStation blog, the team assures it is getting close. The game puts players in the role of a 2-year-old toddler as he explores a house at night. You won't find monsters or combat. Instead, the horror is delivered through an apprehensive atmosphere. The game will be available on PC and PlayStation 4 with Project Morpheus support soon. Now, this game seems to be creepy enough as it is. I don't think it needs the Project Morpheus stuff to help it. So what you got here is a 2-year-old toddler going through a spooky house. I don't know how much more scary that could be. But yeah, like I said, you don't need Project Morpheus or whatever they're going to do with a virtual reality set for this. Microsoft has announced that the Xbox One will soon be available without the Kinect camera. The company issued the statement despite constant reinforcement that Kinect is part of the Xbox One and the two would never be separated. Microsoft said that it will begin offering more options for users. This includes a $399 Xbox One without Kinect that will appear on store shelves on June 9th. A standalone Kinect will be available this fall. The news also confirms an earlier report that streaming devices will now be in front of the Xbox Live paywall. This includes Machinima, Twitch and Upload, Netflix, HBO Go, and sport apps. Skype and OneDrive will also be available for all console owners. I can't help but laugh at this. I mean, for a long while, Microsoft said that they would never sell their Xbox One without the Kinect. And now they've figured it out because PlayStation 4s were selling out for the same price that this new Xbox One was going for because it didn't come with an extra high-tech camera. And of course, PS4s were always selling out for a while since the launch. Meanwhile, Xbox Ones were mostly standing around in the storerooms because nobody wanted to spend about $500 when they could just buy the PS4 for $400. After making stops on platforms like Windows phones and Ouya, Square Enix is bringing its HD remake of Final Fantasy III to PC. The Steam page for the game isn't providing a release date, but it does say that the game will include trading cards and achievements. It also promises upgraded graphics for the PC version, though most of the screens on display are identical to those on the Ouya and Android versions of the game. Now, like many who have played the Final Fantasy games, I have also had issues trying to figure out the differences between what is Final Fantasy 3, 4, 5, and 6, because I think it was like 3 here in the US was actually the 6th one or something like that. But this is going to be coming to PC by way of Steam. Steam, not a retail version. If you want some more info on Final Fantasy 3, you could check out these people over at Reploid Productions. They are doing a legacy podcast involving the Final Fantasy games. I think they're up to the 5th one right now. I mean, if anything, I can put up like a link to their website. Well, then again, I might just put up a link to the actual podcast itself. So, there you go. The open world crafting title Minecraft has proven to be one of the most important titles of last generation, but the game is also slated to come over to the newest round of consoles. Interestingly, when Minecraft hits a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, the world size will be even bigger. A world in the PC version of Minecraft has always been massive, but the console versions have never been quite as big. Thankfully, 4J Studios, which is working to port the title over to the new systems, has recently tweeted that a Minecraft world on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 will be a lot bigger than PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. We still don't have a release date, but the company has said that it's working on a way to help players transfer over their creations from one version of the game to the next console version when it releases. Now, of course, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 version is going to be a much bigger area than the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 version. You're going to have a much bigger world, you're going to have better graphics, and of course, it's not going to be as big as the PC version's world, but apparently still no release dates or anything like that about the PlayStation 4, Xbox One version, which hopefully they'll give us some news pretty soon. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One owners now get the chance to visit Blizzard's loot-infested version of Hell. On August 19th, Diablo III Reaper of Souls Ultimate Evil Edition hits PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. This version includes the base Diablo III game and the Reaper of Souls expansion. The PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions retail for $59.99. Whereas the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions hold the considerably low price of $39.99. All launch day copies of Ultimate Evil Edition come packaged with a code for Infernal Pauldron's shoulder plates. If you've already played Diablo 3 on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, your saves carry over into the Ultimate Evil Edition. You can also transfer PlayStation 3 saves to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360 saves to the Xbox One. Now, this is some sweet news, especially with them having an actual release date for this Diablo 3 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Plus, the whole carrying your character over to the next-gen system is awesome. But then again, this is for people who have played Diablo 3 and probably the other Diablos. There's a lot of Diablo 1 references in Diablo 3 from what I've played. Nordic Games cleaned up at THQ's IP auction last April, snatching up dozens of titles, from All-Star Cheer Squad to You Don't Know Jack. One of the higher profile franchises the publisher acquired was Darksiders, which has left fans of the post-apocalyptic series wondering about its future. According to a post from its former creative director, there's hope. Joe Maduria says Nordic Games seems very committed to continuing the series. He posted the information on a mini FAQs on his Facebook page. DS is not dead. The new owner, Nordic, seems very committed to continuing the series, he wrote. As far as my involvement, I can't say at this point. Hopefully we will all have exciting news about the franchise soon. Now, for me, the Darksiders games were always a sweet game to play. I mean, I think it was War was one of the horsemen that you were playing in, I think the first one, and then Death was the second one. But of course, you never got around to playing as all 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, or the remaining 2. And I think recently there's been some stuff listed for a Darksiders Complete Edition or something like that. If they're re-releasing Darksiders 1 and 2, that would be great. Especially with this fact that they might be making a 3rd one, which hopefully leads into a 4th one where you can maybe play as all 4 horsemen. But yeah, these were cool, sweet games when they came out. They weren't exactly perfect, but they were awesome at the time. Take-Two has indicated that WWE 2K15 might not release in its normal window. The information comes from the most recent earnings release. A number of upcoming titles are listed in the release, including NBA 2K15, and a number of titles for fall 2014, including Borderlands the pre-sequel, Civilization Beyond Earth, and Evolve. WWE 2K15 is listed for financial 2015, which could be as late as March 31st, 2015. On its year-end earnings call, Take-Two shared that NBA 2K developer Visual Concepts is aiding in development. The title will be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, in addition to last-gen systems. This could very well indicate that the game will miss its normal release in the fall. So, according to this, the WWE game might break its usual traditional November release. Might. From what they have here, it is possible that the next WWE game, 2K15, could come out around WrestleMania time, which I wouldn't have an issue with that. And hopefully they will improve on some of the stuff in the game from last year, especially that whole, Daniel Bryan entrance issue that they never got around to fixing. As far as this past week's new releases, we have Minecraft on the PS3, the retail edition, officially Borderlands 2 for the Vita, and Star Wars Pinball, Balance of the Force for the Wii U. So that will do for this edition of Action Video Game Talk. Thank you for joining us. And once again, I will be putting a few links down below. I will be putting up one for the Facebook page, and also I'll probably be putting one down there for the previously mentioned Final Fantasy podcast for that Reploid Productions. Next time, hopefully, there'll be another Action Video Game Talk episode up a lot sooner, and if things go right, there might be 1, maybe 2 guests on here with me, so until next time, bye!